Hello everyone, this is Paragon again. Just make another quick video, an update on what I'm doing. As you can see, I've really gone heavy on the Paragon leveling. I've leveled all the classes to at least basically 50, with the wizard being the lowest. Now I'm working on the demon hunter. A lot of fun, really fast, and I wanted to go over some of the basic skills, some of the basic passives that I see a lot of people using it. That for low monster power farming, I don't think is necessary, and what I think is the most efficient way to go about doing it, purely from a leveling standpoint. Just getting these runs done as fast as possible. I'm gonna be doing the run that Roja did, and it's just those 3 zones: Crater level 2, Keep Depths level 2, and Racky's Crossing. And I do Fields of Slaughter too sometimes, but. So real quick, here as you can see, this is I have some of my DPS gear on, but that's just unbuffed or just with the Enchantress. And for the passives, I'm not going to use any of the steady aim, archery, sharpshooter, and other ones that increase your damage. What we're looking for is just really fast, efficient runs. So as you can use Vengeance. When I'm leveling, I usually throw on a couple more pieces to pick up radius gear. Just to it makes this a lot more effective. Night Stalker is amazing, especially if you have really high crit, and Tactical Advantage is just that's necessary if you want to get it done really fast. The other Night Stalker I love because I really use Vault a lot, so that's going to be good for me. Everything else is very basic. I've actually been experimenting a lot, and I think Chakrams is actually really a lot of fun, and it's pretty effective. But Ball Lightning is just so much easier to use. So I use Spray of Teeth, Ball Lightning, Gloom, Backup Plan, Vault with Tumble, always Tumble, and I use the Bat Companion. This one I guess is the most changeable, but I play pretty quick, so I try to use as much hatred as possible. So pretty basic setup, but I'm going to go over how to do these runs really fast. And I think the biggest thing is to not be afraid of using Discipline. Always use Discipline. And just vault like crazy. Vault, shoot, vault, and just keep going. Because with Night Stalker, if your crit's high enough, 40%, I think I'm at like 57 in this gear right now. But if you're at least 40% or more, it's definitely worth it. Now, when I do these runs, I've memorized every nook and cranny of these. But what you're gonna want to do is you never really want to backtrack. You always want to move forward. So right there, move backwards a little bit. But for the most part, you just want to stay on the straight path and try to get these runs done just as quickly as possible. I do have, I think, just about 3 million lifetime kills, and that is largely because when I play low monster power and going as fast as possible. And it really, I think, is more beneficial to do it this way. If you go in every little nook and cranny of these places, you're gonna slow down on yourself a lot. It's really going to limit the amount of monsters you kill, which not only is going to decrease your experience a lot, but it's also you're not going to get as many drops. Obviously, if you can do it on a higher monster power, that's going to be a little bit more beneficial. Monster power 1 or 2 or something like that. But really, you just want to kill as many monsters as possible, especially once you're hit high Paragon levels and your magic finds capped or near capped. Doing monster power 0 is just fine in terms of loot. But it's just so much more efficient. Even with the DPS I have in this gear is pretty solid. It's just easier to do monster power 1. So yeah, I've been a little bit distracted here, but usually just trying to constantly vault. It's actually a little bit easier to do with some more pickup radius gear, because you get the discipline from Vengeance. So there we go, just keep vaulting, I actually got a lot of stacks this time, which was nice. Sometimes doing this run, if you don't go into all those little crevices, you might only get a couple stacks before you go to level 2. But that's okay, because you're still just going to kill just a monster density run, really. So just shooting quickly. I see people using steady aim and archery. There's nothing wrong with those passives. With this build and the way I play, steady aim is useless because I'm always right next to the enemies. I'm always in the middle of it. Ball Lightning takes a while to travel, so I'd rather just get up and close and shoot. But archery, which is just going to increase your DPS, or sharpshooter if you have low crit, and it's going to it's just not worth it because Night Stalker is going to allow you to when you hit big packs of monsters with I think I got stuck there. with big packs of monsters, when you have Night Stalker, I mean, your discipline's always going to be full. So it's so beneficial. And if you have like if you use the Leorix and I have like one other piece, if you have like 14 yards pickup radius or something like that, I think I only have 6 right now. I usually go with 20 when I'm really farming, and it just makes the it's just much more valuable than the added DPS. Now, if your gear isn't quite there yet, and you have 100,000 DPS or something like that, and it's low, it could be beneficial. But I still, with Monster Power 0, the monsters don't have much health at all, so you really don't need that extra DPS. It's just about doing it as fast and efficiently as you can. Right here I'm gonna have to actually, you know what? See right here, it's not worth it to backtrack. I'm gonna have to go all the way up here. Well, we'll see. I think actually it might be worth it, because now that I'm looking at it, I think it's gonna be a big extended room of monsters. So yeah, I mean, as you do these, obviously you learn all the iterations of the dungeons and how they spawn. But sometimes, and a lot of times, if especially if you're not, vaulting a lot, it's not worth it to backtrack all that way just to get a few extra monsters. It's just worth it to go right to Racky's Crossing. Alright. And as I said earlier, I do the Fields of Slaughter sometimes, but yeah, I think I'm gonna be able to do that in this video as well. It won't be too long. So once again, Racky's Crossing is great because there's obviously, it's just one set dungeon, or little area. It's the same every time. If you're trying to do experience runs as fast as possible, I actually skip going in that door when it's available to you sometimes, because it can take a little bit of time just to go in, out, all that, just for one pack. But if you want some extra items, that could be worth it. So yeah, just always make sure you never want to have your discipline at full, because with all the crits from Night Stalker, with preparation, with backup plan, which goes off surprisingly a lot, it's just you always want to be using it, because if you're not using it, you're wasting it. And right here, every crit, or not, every 5th crit or so, you're getting discipline. Just picking up rings and amulets, 63s, weapons. I've gotten very tired of identifying mountain loads of garbage, so I've limited the rares I pick up. And that just depends on sort of how much gold and gear you have. Obviously, you're going to want to pick up more if you don't quite have any gold yet. People ask me a lot of times too, what's the best way to get gold? How do you break the, sort of the gap between getting, 5 million gold items to items that are worth 20 million, 50 million, 100 million or more. So really the easiest way to do it, and there's no shortcut easy way. Obviously flipping items on the auction house is going to work well if you're really knowledgeable about items. But just in terms of playing, Paragon level and Magic Find is huge. It's really nice to not gear yourself with Magic Find at all, because you can spend what you would on Magic Find for other more useful attributes. So getting the Paragon levels is really important, which is why you want to do these runs until if you want to start doing higher monster power runs at some point, obviously that's fine, but you really should do these quickly until you have a decent Paragon level. I usually say 60 or 70, so at least I'll do it all the way to 100, because that's just how I want to do it. I'm going to try to level probably all 5 of them to level 100 with the new patch coming out. So that's going to increase the experience gain. So, but yeah, just constantly right here, and then you throw backup plan in, you can really use all of it, all those crits, like something like a pack like this. I really think everyone should use Night Stalker, and a lot of people do. But in terms of getting those items, it's just playing like this. You're gonna get, as you saw, I got a legendary during this run, and it's garbage. But you know, every once in a while they're going to be really good. It takes patience. It can take some time. But just based on the math of it, I mean, it's eventually going to happen. It's happened to me a lot of times I mean, I've never gotten, you know, that 5 billion gold insane item, but, you know, I've gotten a lot of hundreds of million gold items just farming this way. So that's the best way to do it, in my opinion, the fastest way to do it. You can do it a lot faster. I was kind of distracted there talking, but, you know, it's a good way to do it. It's a good way to get fast experience and, you know, some good drops as well. So try to play like this if you can. Go faster. Faster is funner. It's a lot more fun. You probably enjoy the game more. Have a good one.